Top 10 Notorious Mount Everest Climbing Experiences. Mount Everest, the highest peak in the world, is a dream for many climbers. However, the journey to the summit is fraught with dangers and challenges. In this video, we will explore the top 10 notorious Mount Everest climbing experiences that have left a mark on the climbers who dared to conquer this majestic mountain. Let me know what you think of my video too. Participate with a message or a like, and if you like my video, follow my page, and I will do my best to improve more and more. 10. Traffic jams. The phenomenon of overcrowding on Everest slopes has become increasingly problematic, with climbers often caught in extensive queues. These bottlenecks are particularly severe on the final push to the summit, where narrow passages allow for little movement. The consequences of these delays are far-reaching, exacerbating the risk of altitude sickness, exposure to the elements, and the depletion of oxygen supplies. The 2019 climbing season highlighted the perils of such congestion, witnessing an alarming number of fatalities attributed in part to these very traffic jams. This alarming situation underscores the critical need for better regulation and planning to ensure the safety of all climbers attempting to reach the top of the world. 9. Kumu Icefall. Navigating the Kumu Icefall presents one of the most perilous phases of an Everest ascent. This section, characterized by its maze of ice towers known as seracs and deep, hidden crevasses, poses a formidable challenge to climbers. The icefall sits on the moving glacier, which means its landscape is in a constant state of flux, reshaping the path climbers must take. This dynamism significantly increases the risk of avalanches or ice collapses, with climbers having to rely on ladders and ropes strategically placed to bridge the gaps between crevasses. The unpredictability and instability of the Kumu Icefall have earned it a notorious reputation among Everest adventurers, making it a critical obstacle to overcome on their journey to the summit. 8. Altitude sickness. Altitude sickness represents one of the primary challenges faced by climbers on Mount Everest due to the progressively thinner air that accompanies higher elevations. This condition manifests through a range of symptoms, including headaches, shortness of breath, nausea, and a general feeling of malaise. If left untreated, it can escalate into more severe forms such as high-altitude pulmonary edema, HAPE, or high-altitude cerebral edema, HACE, both of which can be fatal. The risk increases significantly as climbers ascend, particularly above the 8,000-meter mark, known as the death zone, where the oxygen levels are insufficient for human life to sustain long-term. Preventative measures, acclimatization periods, and the use of supplemental oxygen are critical in mitigating the effects of altitude sickness, ensuring climbers have the best possible chance to safely reach the summit and return. 7. Extreme weather. The unpredictability of weather on Mount Everest poses a significant challenge to climbers, subjecting them to a gamut of severe conditions. Without warning, tranquil skies can rapidly give way to fierce snowstorms, plummeting temperatures, and devastating winds capable of halting even the most seasoned mountaineers in their tracks. These sudden shifts can not only impede progress, but also increase the risk of life-threatening conditions such as frostbite and hypothermia. The mountain's weather is notoriously difficult to forecast, adding an additional layer of complexity to summit attempts. Adequate preparation, including monitoring weather conditions closely and having contingency plans in place, is essential for climbers hoping to mitigate the risks associated with Everest's extreme weather. 6. The Hillary Step. One of the most formidable obstacles climbers face on their ascent to Everest's summit is the Hillary Step. This near-vertical rock face, named in honor of Sir Edmund Hillary, one of the first two individuals confirmed to have reached the summit of Everest, stands as the last great challenge before reaching the top. In recent years, the physical structure of the Hillary Step has changed due to earthquake activity, altering its difficulty and the approach climbers must take. Traditionally, it required scaling a roughly 40-foot rock wall using fixed ropes. The area has become even more precarious, with the potential for bottlenecks as climbers wait their turn to tackle this section. The congestion can lead to dangerous delays, especially under the threat of changing weather conditions or dwindling oxygen supplies. Successfully navigating the Hillary Step requires technical skill, patience, and the careful coordination of climbers and Sherpas, highlighting the unpredictable and cooperative nature of high-altitude mountaineering. 5. Oxygen deprivation. Navigating the thin air of Mount Everest's higher elevations introduces climbers to the daunting challenge of hypoxia, a condition marked by an insufficient supply of oxygen to the body's tissues. The use of supplemental oxygen is a common strategy employed to mitigate the effects of the thin atmosphere, allowing climbers to maintain their physical and cognitive functions as they ascend beyond the 8,000-meter threshold into the notorious death zone. Despite these precautions, the risk of oxygen deprivation remains a significant concern. Symptoms can rapidly evolve from mild disorientation and fatigue to more severe impairments such as loss of consciousness, putting climbers at grave risk during the most critical phases of their ascent. 4. Avalanches. Avalanches stand as one of Mount Everest's most unpredictable and deadly hazards. These natural disasters can strike with little to no warning, transforming the mountain's serene landscape into a deadly cascade of ice and snow. Triggered by a combination of factors such as sudden weather changes, seismic activity, or the disturbance from climbers and Sherpas, avalanches pose a significant risk to those traversing Everest's more vulnerable slopes. The history of Everest expeditions is marred by tragic incidents where avalanches have caught climbers off guard, leading to severe injuries and loss of life. To mitigate these risks, expeditions rely heavily on the expertise of seasoned Sherpas who are adept at reading the mountain's subtle cues and choosing the safest routes through potentially avalanche-prone areas. 3. Crevasse falls. One of the silent dangers that climbers on Mount Everest face is the treacherous crevasses. These deep fissures in the glacier surface are often concealed by fragile snow bridges, making them nearly invisible obstacles on the climber's path. To traverse these hidden perils, mountaineers employ ladders and ropes, creating precarious bridges over the gaping chasms. The consequences of a fall into a crevasse are dire, with rescue operations being complex and fraught with danger due to the depth and instability of the ice. Crevasse falls require climbers to exercise extreme caution and rely on their technical skills and equipment to safely navigate this icy terrain. 2. Exhaustion and fatigue. The relentless ascent of Mount Everest demands extraordinary physical and mental endurance, pushing climbers to their limits. Exhaustion and fatigue are ever-present foes in this extreme environment, where the body battles not only the grueling climb, but also the effects of altitude sickness and the cold. Every step forward is a victory against the mountain's inhospitable conditions. Climbers find themselves wrestling with depleted energy reserves as they navigate the treacherous terrain, the thin air making each breath a Herculean effort. This fatigue is not just a mere inconvenience. It can cloud judgment, slow reaction times, and compromise safety, turning even routine tasks into potentially dangerous challenges. Mountaineers must meticulously manage their energy, balancing the urge to press on with the necessity of conserving strength for the descent, which remains as perilous as the climb. 1. Human waste and pollution. The environmental impact of Everest expeditions has become an increasing concern, with the mountain facing issues related to human waste and ecological degradation. The once pristine slopes are now marred by abandoned gear, empty oxygen canisters, and other debris, complicating the efforts to preserve this iconic landscape. Moreover, the melting of glaciers, exacerbated by global warming, has uncovered waste that had been hidden for years, posing a threat to the local water sources and wildlife. The challenge of maintaining the mountain's natural beauty while accommodating the aspirations of climbers is significant. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and more videos like this. Thanks for watching.